Hey, what's happening, guys? Dan Darrow here with another Options to Play video update. Something, it was the top of my mind because we had quite a few different meme stocks report last or yesterday after the close or this morning. And even though I feel like I was talking about this in the earnings on the radar video from this past week, but um, what I really want to just like highlight is the idea of gauging earnings, the impact of earnings on a stock, right? Most stocks, earnings are a big event. I mean, earnings, revenues, guidance, right? I mean, that can be like a huge driver of performance on a stock in like the short term, in like a couple weeks, right? I mean, it can really impact the trading on that name. Um, for other stocks, though, earnings just aren't relevant to the story, right? So for me, like when I'm looking at like an earnings play, like first off, one of the you know before you even get into what the options are pricing in or what like the chart looks like, it's like, do earnings even matter, right? Like, is our earnings what the story is on the stock? And for a name like AMC, like earnings, they aren't what really drives price action, right? I mean, bulls will say, diamond hands. I'm never selling. AMC is worth like $1 million. What, they say, like, it's a squeeze potential. It's going so much higher. They really couldn't care less what the earnings are. And then bears will say it's overvalued, so they don't make any money. It's a movie theater. It shouldn't be in the 40 range anyway. So whether earnings are good or bad, it doesn't really change anybody's opinion, right? Like, it's not a huge driver of action. I mean, there's other things at play on AMC, whether that's like gamma squeeze, short squeeze, right? Like a meme stock. It's just earnings just aren't relevant really to like the overall picture on AMC. So when you're looking at it for an earnings play and with like options being elevated because of earnings this week, you want to ask yourself, like, if they miss, is it really going to impact this stock a lot, right? And is it worth laying out the money for the options? And if the answer is no, then sometimes it's just better just to sit, watch, and wait, right? Because why are you going to put the money out there at risk if earnings really aren't like a substantial catalyst for that name, right? And like the same thing applies to some of these like bios, right? Clinical stage bios, they don't have any drug approved, they don't have any revenues coming in. It's all about data, right? And if there's no expected data, then the question is, like, what's in like that, quote unquote earnings release, right? It's more like a corporate update because they don't have earnings. Like, what's in it to to really move the stock, right? I mean, if they release data, that's one thing, but if they don't, if no data is expected, and the company just talks about how much cash they burned and what their milestones are, odds are the stock is really not going to be that volatile. So again, like, earnings probably aren't relevant to like the story on that name in the near term. So that's why, like, for me, like, I go through and I try to determine, okay, what can I scratch off the list? Like, do earnings matter at this point? Do earnings driving the price action of the stock? And if the answer is no, then for me, like, that's just like an avoid, right? Wait until like the main catalyst. So for AMC, maybe that's some event where like the CEO is presenting, or maybe it's like when the meme stock rally gets going again, or for like Corvus, they're going to have data later this week, so like that's much more impactful than say like their corporate update or earnings release, when there's really like nothing that's going to move the needle a whole lot, right? So it's just something to keep in mind. I mean, it might save you from getting involved in one of these names where you think, oh, it's like a highly volatile bio, it's a highly volatile meme stock, but at the end of the day, if earnings aren't what drives price action, or if the revenues aren't really what matter, then sometimes it's best just to leave the options alone. All right. So if you like this video and you're looking for more information about trading events with options, whether that's earnings or biotech events, please follow up with the link in the description of the video for more information on options to play. Have a great night, stay well, and I will talk to you all tomorrow.